Hello everyone, this is Reggie, the appliance repair nerd, aka the washer dryer repair nerd, coming at you with a video. I'm in the shop today, and you guys are hanging out with me. So what we're looking at right now is a Maytag Centennial dryer, made by Whirlpool. And the giveaway is when you see this lint trap on top, which, oh my god, look at that. Yeah. So anyway, I get these machines. They're throwaways. You know, people basically say, "Oh, it don't work. I want a new one," and I'll just haul them away. So this is the crime scene. So I don't even need someone to tell me what's wrong. So this is my first time touching this dryer, and as you can see, you've got lint build up. So what most likely happened was it took 2 or 3 times for the dryer to dry close because it was just suffocating and couldn't blow the moist air out. So we're going to turn it on. I usually test the timer. What kind of junk blow out of it. Gets nice and hot. So this is actually a good warning if you buy a dryer from a private seller. Private seller being defined as a person that owned it and just wanted to get rid of it. And usually they say, oh, we're just upgrading, or somebody gave us one, which is true sometimes. And sometimes you got little things like this that they don't tell you about. Sometimes people are blatantly lying, or sometimes they just, their own ignorance. They just feel like, you're used to having to dry clothes 2 or 3 different cycles, and you kind of forget to pass that information on to the next person. So we're gonna have to do with this one. See how it's sticking in there? Now it sticks that way because of the moisture. So it gets wet, that lint, because the lint is supposed to be dry and flaky. So it gets wet. So what I'm gonna use is a wire brush, or you can just use a regular scrub brush, soap and water, to clean this up. And that'll do the job too. So this dryer actually works, but I'm shooting this video to show you that every dryer needs maintenance. This one technically works, but is not fully efficient. Because most likely, before I haven't even taken this thing apart yet, I can tell you the air duct is probably clogged up with this lint. But the dryer is still blowing out heat. So I'm going to show you guys how to go into your own dryer and just do perform a maintenance package. So I'm going to pause the video and take the back off, and we'll move on from there. So stay tuned. Alright, before I take this thing apart, I wanted to show you a quick before and after picture. This is the lint screen. Scrubbed it down with that scrub brush there. Looks way better. It's a little wet, so I'm going to dry it out, let it dry, air dry, and then wipe it down a little better. But for the most part, I got bulk of that lint off. So just a scrub brush, soap and water, and let it air dry. You don't want to stick this back in your dryer wet, because you're going to do nothing but allow more lint to stick to that. So just let that air dry out. Alright, so we'll pause it. We're going to be on to the rest of the maintenance of this dryer. So what we're going to do from here is, in order to take this thing apart, we're going to take these screws off. That's the air duct. As you see, the timer has moved, so the timer works good. And then we're going to obviously unplug it. Let's do that first. So first off, you turn the dryer off. Unplug. And you want to get a 1/4 inch nut driver and remove all these screws in the back, with the exception of these. You don't touch those. Alright, so we're going to take all the screws off, and we're going to access the back panel. Alright, so we got the back panel off, and this is your air duct. This is your heating element. This is your heat regulator, that I call it. I mean, these things got a bunch of different names, but this regulates the heat. So this, when your heat elements gets to a certain temperature, it turns off the element. Once it gets to a certain low temperature, it turns it back on, just to regulate a consistent temperature inside the dryer. So contrary to popular belief, the heat element doesn't stay on all the time. It stays on for a few minutes, then turns off as it senses the temperature. So that it has a piece of bimetal in there. That's how that works. Here is your high limit thermostat. So it basically senses the heat. And behind this you'll have an airway that goes inside the drum. So air gets sucked in through here, through the drum, and then suck through the air duct and out through your exhaust. This is your high limit thermostat. That is your fire protection. What that does is if your, let's say this fails and gets stuck in the on position and keeps the heat element on no matter what temperature, this will be a backup and shuts down all heat. So your dryer will still work, but it will not get hot. It'll be blowing out cold air. So some people bypass this, which is super dangerous and just not good ethics. Some people bypass that because it keeps blowing and they don't realize you need to test this. I do have a video on how to test this particular fuse to see if you have an issue. So check on my channel, the Appliance Repair Nerd, Washer Dryer Repair Nerd, and check out that video. Also, you have these are just, this goes into your elements. So, all right. Oh, and this is another high limit thermostat, which if your air ducts overheat, this shuts everything down. So your dryer will not come on at all if this fuse is blown. So you don't want to just replace that. You want to see why. Usually it's because this thing is clogged up, which we're going to take off in a second here. And this is just another thermostat too that senses heating. So all this stuff, and this is, you know, in my business, you know, I do appliance restoration and reselling, and you know, the market is flooded with dryers, way more than washers. I would say 4 to 1 dryers over washers, because there's so many redundancies to prevent fires. So usually when you hear about, you know, a house catching fire because of the dryer, I bet if you dug in there, one of these fuses were bypassed, or just a blatant, super blatant overlooked issue with the air ducts. So we're taking a 1/4 inch nut dryer. I'm sorry, I'm doing this with one hand. Again, I'm a one-take wonder. I don't do a lot of video editing and all that. I'm good at fixing washers and dryers, so I'm just giving you the information. So bear with me if this isn't the best video to look at, but the information is high quality. So now we're taking the air duct off. Okay, it's not too bad. You got a little debris in there. Fan, you got kind of like a bit of chain in there, so it's a little debris. So I bet all the junk that was accumulated inside the actual foil air duct that was attached to the dryer. So I'm just going to clean this out, reattach it, and, you know, clean it up, post it for sale. Any questions, feel free to contact me below, and also go to www.dryertuneup.com to get your dryer tune-up kit. Any questions, feel free to text me below. Thanks.